that as a form of expression. Yeah. So that was pretty far out. I took this picture like, oh, you can see that face there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see a face.
Yeah, you can see that face there.
I do.
And you see regular light. You see, and I have one infrared ultraviolet flashlight. And look at this. You see one line, two line, three lines, and this line going there. If it was just a camera move, all line would be like that. But it's clear that this one extended. These guys went this way, so. That's some like, wow. Look at that one. Hawaiian, like, looks like Hawaiian petroglyphs.
Yeah, that's right. You do.
That was like a sea of fireball.
You do this way, it's like
That's like a sea of fireball. Okay. This here was at a heiau, one of the heiaus here, and you can see there's a figure of a person right there. You can see these flying things.
That person, there wasn't a person standing there?
No, yeah, this is someone I was with. But you see these flying things here? The next page? Look at that.
Whoa. Wow.
Imagine how big these things are. Now this is obvious. This wasn't a physical thing, you know. It was in like just outside of our physical spectrum, you know.
Wow.
Look at that there.
It's just flying.
Look at that one. Look at that. Wings. Look at these guys right there. There's the orb right there. Look at this. That's pretty big. It must be like about this big.
Yeah.
It must be about this big.
Wow.
And so at the end, I was just having these pictures like, wow, this is amazing. What is this?
Right.
So after we had a nice camera session, you know, we're leaving. As I turn around, I'm about to leave, I turn around. I was just like, dude, thanks for everything. You know, I was just showing gratitude. I was showing some appreciation for them showing up. And I took this last picture, and two of them posed right in front of my camera. That was the pose right there, you know. It was just like, it's all good. We'll see you around. We'll see you. So
interdimensional relationships.
Yeah, and you know, there was a lot that went on in between these time periods, but that's other photos that I have, just to kind of show that you know, like this is like an adventure in like a sci-fi channel, you know. Next page. We went out to Arizona and we camped out. Drove all the way out to Arizona City in the middle of the Sonoran Desert and camped out for like 2 weeks. And in the middle of nowhere, right at the border of Mexico, you know. One time I saw like 50 Mexicans running across the border. It was like insane. These people were carrying water jugs and stuff, and it must have been like day 2, day 3 for them, you know. And I was like, wow, that's insane. So we're in the middle of nowhere. And the first UFO that I saw, so we got to this place, T1000. He goes, oh, there's a UFO. You know, there was a mountain like this, right? There's a mountain like this, right? And there's a ship coming out the backside of the mountain, and it's flashing like a plane. It was like, you know how the plane flashes? So the mountain like this, it comes out of the back of the mountain, and it's flashing. And it goes, oh, there's a ship right there. I was like, that's a plane. What are you talking about? He's like, watch this. Takes his laser and he beams them, right? Boom, hits it. That ship that was flashing, it was like this. Beep, 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 beep. It goes. And then the mountain's like this. After it powers up, it goes beep, 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 back into the mountain. I was like, what? I'm like, wow, what the heck was that? So it just increased in intensity, shut down, and changed direction immediately. Not even a moment of pause, you know. I was like, what? So at the Arizona desert, you start to realize, you start to pick up their signature. You can tell them apart from the regular planes. And how they flash, you know, you can start to feel which ones are planes and which ones are UFO ships, you know. And so after a couple of days, you know, there was a lot that went on, you know what I mean. But just to get to the point, after 10 days or something like that, you know, camping out in the desert, and we just hiked around during the day. Nighttime we sat and tried to connect, and we saw ships, you know, all these power ups and all that stuff. Last day, we decided. Because we weren't getting the contact that we wanted, so we decided to leave all the camera equipment, all the radio, all the cell phone, everything in the hotel, and just go out just to experience. So we go out in the middle of the desert, and this is in the middle of the desert. We go out in the middle of the desert, we just sit down and we just wait. Then, I don't know, maybe an hour or two later, you know, it was dark. Then we hear this, I think T1000 T1000 goes, oh, there's a ship overhead. Then I hear this helicopter come from the backside of the mountain. and they're like, oh, that's the drug dealer's helicopter. That's the drug dealer's helicopter. I'm like, drug dealer? I'm like, there's not a drug buy around here, is it? So I'm like, wow, watching, where's this like? Meanwhile, T-1000 is like, there's a ship overhead. There's a ship overhead. This helicopter's coming closer to us, getting louder and louder. Next thing you know, this helicopter comes right in front of us, like foot-wise, maybe I'm not too good with distance, but like say like half a football length, maybe 3/4 of a football field length, comes in front of us, hovers for a little bit, and then lands, and I'm like, whoa, what the heck is this? And like he lands there for a little bit, and T-1000 is like, yeah, waving them on. I'm like, what the heck? I'm just like, guys, wave at him. Like, he's like, dude, that's military. They got the night vision. They can see us now. Just wave, guys. Just smile and wave. I'm like, smile and wave, huh? So it hovers there for a little bit, right? Then after that, no, it lands for a little bit, lifts up, and then it comes towards us. And we're right next to our van. It comes towards us like, I thought it was gonna like dice our van with this blade. Comes like, just swerves around us.
Are you talking about the military?
The military.
Oh my God! So you could have gotten shot.
Oh yeah. But when it came towards us, I thought it was gonna dice our van with his blade. And I saw the two what's it called, those barrel, the guns on the side. And I was like, holy shit! Is it okay to bend over and kiss man's goodbye now? Like, we're in the middle of the desert and this freaking gunship just hailed us. So it's circled, right? It's circled around, boom, comes back to the same spot, hovers, parks again. I'm like, what the hell? And T-1000 is like, yeah. I'm like, what the hell? It's like, dude, they won't shoot us. If they shoot us, they'll intervene. And he's just like edging them on. And so it does this again. It picks up, dives at us, and T-1000 is running towards it. You know, I'm like, this guy's freaking crazy. I'm scared. I'm like, dude, in the middle of the desert, dude, they could gun us down and just jet. And this thing was black, no markings, yeah? Jet, no markings. We're in the middle of the desert, no cell phone, no nothing. They could not have tracked us. Came from nowhere straight to us. This black helicopter circled us like 3 times. 3 times. So it wasn't there by mistake. What I think, and T-1000 was like, dude, there's a ship right over us. And so what I think was the ship, it was following the ship to us. And then the ship took off and it followed it. Then the ship came back, and so it came back. Ship took off, and then it came back. So that's what it was doing. It was playing cat and mouse. You know, he talks about like sometimes the ship will beam you, and you get some kind of radiation burn and ooze coming out of you sometimes, you know. And it was me, T-1000, and this other guy. And you know, this other guy said he had got burnt the last time, you know. And I was like, wow, we didn't get burned. So that was great. That was good. I didn't get shot. I didn't get arrested or locked up or get alien experimented on. So that was good.
Could you see what the ship looked like, or you just felt it? You know it was there because of the helicopters, or could you actually see? Were you able to see
I was like deer in headlight. I could not. I couldn't see it. Yeah. See, the thing with these ships are, some of them are metallic. They are metallic ships. Some of them can actually phase out into the next dimension, just outside of visible light spectrum. Some of them are light ships. Some of them are plasma ships. So there's all kinds of shit. When you talk about UFO, it's just like talking about cars, yeah, and not even talking about what kind of driver is in the cars, yeah. So it's just ships are just ships, yeah.
Will the camera pick them up like an order?
If they want you to, yeah. If they want you to, yeah. So the next day, the other guy, there was only 3 of us. The next day, his girlfriend, the guy's girlfriend calls, and she goes, what the hell happened last night? We're like, she was like, I was in my bathtub, and she said, this ooze just came out of her head. And we're like, whoa. So they're a partner, you know, they're a couple, you know. So I don't know what happened. She got the ooze, the radiation burn.
Oh, radiation burn.
She got something happened to her because she was connected with him, yeah.
Right.
So whatever happened to her.
You guys get pictures?
It was like sympathetic.
No, we didn't bring cameras. We didn't bring.
One time.
No
right?
self. No.
One time.
Yeah. A lot of times, you know, when you're connecting with phenomenon like that, a lot of times it's for your eyes only, you know?
Yeah.
It's for your eyes only. Were you asking something?
No, I said it was like a sympathetic reaction that she had. She's connected to her
Yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah. I don't know exactly what it couldn't possibly
Yeah,
just be a
yeah.
sympathetic resonance, you know, because partners tend to do that in that their
Right,
energies
because
are
their
combined,
energies
you know,
are combined.
one. Yeah,
right.
yeah. Okay, next. And you know, he started telling me that like he's got implants, you know, that he's got implants to help accelerate his spiritual growth and all that stuff. And
Your
I don't know,
teacher?
T1000.
Oh, okay.
So if you see this white dot right there,
Right.
those are metallic. This is
Oh,
X-ray. Nothing should be white. White is metal.
right.
Yeah. So he got this because he said he was in the military and his army buddy took I forgot what the equipment was called, and they scanned him because they didn't believe him. And sure enough, you know, they find these white dots here. You know, and this is the picture of a picture that I took. Yeah. Next page.
Does he go off when he goes to the airport? He wants to X-ray machines?
No. You know, and this one's a little bit
That's a
blurry.
good question.
And again, it's a picture of a picture that I took. Yeah. And there's that white dot. I think that's one right there. You know. And so I'm like, dude, who is this guy? I've never heard about contacts like that before.
Yeah, I have. Well, have you read Bringers of the Dawn?
I did not read a lot of books. I don't know a lot of people. Like I lived with somebody. Like this was my education here. You know.
Yeah. Well, one of the Sloman channels, one of the things the ETs say is, in order to accelerate you, we'd rather just get you and put something inside your brain or whatever to help you to
Right.
accelerate.
And I'll talk about that, Cecily. So that was like, so that was interesting. Next one. So that was, I like this picture. This is the classic picture. That's me, the skinny, scrawny guy. And that was T1000, Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah, this movie, interesting. Yeah. So we were buds. We training at his house 3 times a week. We started having open classes. There's a lot of people. I traveled with him to Japan twice. He taught big workshops there, and this guy had gifts. He had abilities. He wasn't just like somebody who was practicing energy work or just getting to this field. Like this guy was like, he was out of this world. You know what I mean? He was like a wizard, and so I was fully invested. I was like, man, this is my good fortune. You know what I mean? This is my luck that I hooked up with this guy. This guy likes me. You know what I mean? And so I was fully invested, man. I quit some jobs so that I could hang out more. And keep myself available. And I wasn't really pursuing anything. I dedicated my life to this guy. And because I believed that what we were doing, the things that we were teaching, and what we were sharing was going to help. Reality. The humanity was going to help the earth and the planet and all that stuff. Yeah. And because of his shamanic experience, he talked about medicines. He talked about medicines and what it can do. And that when we started doing the shamanic experience, he looked at me and he said, like, "Oh, you go far in the medicine with the medicine," And it always kept me wondering, So I probably this is 2003. This is I forgot when this was, but so I hooked up with a friend. We got some mushrooms and we was gonna do mushrooms after work. We went to Diamond Head at the beach. Had my first mushroom experience, and man, it was at the ocean and the beach. It was amazing. When the first car started coming on, I was freaking out because you can't grasp your reality. Everything's dissolving, and you got no foothold. And then I forgot that I took a mushroom. Then I remembered, thank God. And I was like, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Just go with the flow. You took a journey and you're not coming back for a while. Just go with it. And I was like, So I let go and I just went with it, And so I was just having an amazing experience here and there. It was a relatively good experience. Then I started seeing I saw the ocean and the horizon, and it looked like a giant screen. And I was walking back and forth, like something looked like I was on stage, And then all of a sudden, I see all these lights pulling into our atmosphere, just outside of our atmosphere. All these UFO ships, fleets and fleets and fleets, just pulling in, huge fleet. Pulling in right outside of our atmosphere, and I'm like, holy shit, why is it happening now? I'm all high, you know what I mean? So, and then what happened was, I think during that time, that's when I started feeling the pulse of the earth. I could feel her heartbeat. Boom, 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 and I could connect with her. I was like, oh my God. I saw two revolving Buddhas start coming out, and they're sitting down, and they're revolving. I was like, oh, I could feel the pulse of the earth. I could understand the essence of the Buddha's teaching and Jesus' teaching, you know? And I was just like blown away, just melting, you know? It's like, oh my God, it's just so beautiful, you know? And the two revolving Buddhas was sitting and revolving, then it went, poof, and it went out to go greet the ETs. I was like, whoa, whoa. My phone was in my pocket, right? And I had one friend that I talked to about ETs and all this stuff. And I was trying to call him because I was like, dude, why does it happen now? My phone was in my pocket. I would reach into my pocket and I pull it out. I kept doing that over and over. Like, dude, my phone is right here. Where is it? And like, ah! Thank God it didn't come out because I would have been an ass out of myself. But that's what I saw. So that was my first mushroom experience. Then later on, you know, we started growing mushrooms, and man, this is where things start really getting intense. So he started talking about mushroom experiences and how you can go so much farther with mushroom experiences and all that stuff. So we started growing, you know. He told me you just do this, buy research and buy this bag and inject the spores inside. And I was like, okay, I tried it out in the bag, and wow, mine grew, and I had a couple shrooms, and I gave some to him, you know. I gave some to him, and then I started realizing, like, oh, dude, this is awesome. Nothing grows for me, you know. I've never had a green thumb. Nothing grows for me. But the mushrooms grew, and I was like, dude, this is my plan. You know what I mean? This is my thing. So I expanded my operation. You know, I bought a Tupperware. You know, I started growing, and meanwhile, nothing grew for T1000. You know, nothing would grow for him. It was just weird, you know. And so I had to give him some, you know, periodically. And then he says, you want to do a ceremony? Let's go get some mushrooms, get it fresh, and then we'll go up to Palolo Ridge, camp out overnight, and I'll do an experience with you, and we'll do a ceremony. And so I did. So we hiked up into St. Louis Ridge, up in the middle. It must have been like, I don't know how long, and it's all the way through. It's probably like, I don't know how long. It's probably like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. Anybody did Palolo Ridge before?
That's not the whole thing, but yeah, I know it.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Yeah, and periodically there's like platforms of round-based platforms. Yeah. So we found one platform that was in the middle of the hike of the city and Ko'olau Ridge, and what we did was we set up camp, you know, right around sunset, you know, and then we set up camp, got our things ready. Then so he starts explaining about the ceremony, you know. It's like, all right, so you're gonna, you know, this is how you talk to the mushroom, you know. You ask it to teach you, and ask it to be go easy and gentle on you. This is how you get its power, and blah blah blah. You know, it's really intricate in the details, you know. So I ate my mushrooms, and then he said, so we'll face left, because when the ETs come, they'll come from the left. No, from the west. They'll come from the west. The ETs will come from the west.
I'm sorry, I'll figure it out.
Okay, so the ETs will they'll come from the west, you know. So we're sitting down waiting for the mushroom to kick in. You know, if you've ever done mushrooms before, it takes a little 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm sitting and I'm waiting, and sure enough, from the left, I see this. It looks like a ship. It looks like a satellite, but it was a ship, and then it flashed. Boom, and then my whole mushroom experience was it was like a missing time. Totally. The next thing I know, I had just taken the mushroom. That after that UFO flash, the next thing I realized, I was sitting down and I hear what was going on was that I felt like I was sitting in and I was plugged into this huge sea of energy, and this plugged in, and this energy went up my spine. It was huge, you know. And what I heard was like, okay, good, keep the energy. No, keep the energy in your heart. And then I kept the energy in my heart. Then I came out of this, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
So I came out of this experience. So I came out of this experience, and I'm like, whoa, where am I? Dude, I looked at this guy, like, dude, who is this guy? I didn't know who was in front of me, but all I knew was that I respected this guy. I didn't know who I was, I didn't know what I was doing here. And I was like freaking out. I was like, dude, what am I doing here? I was just like all blank, can't get any thought at all. He's trying to get me to do this and do that, and I'm not listening to him because I'm like, dude, where am I? You know what I mean? And he goes, okay, look into my eyes. So I look into his eyes and I was like, whoa! He starts like shape-shifting. I saw his head shape-shift, what looks like a grave but with ridges, you know? And what I felt was like, I felt that he was gonna suck my blood. And I was like, whoa, dude! And so I was just wanted to get away from him. Anyways, he left me alone, and I started. Finally, I looking out into the city lights because I could see it from a distance. I remember my dog. I had a little Lame Chihuahua. I remember my dog, and I really loved my dog, you know. And I wanted to have my dog with me, you know what I mean? So that was the experience. Then the next day, I wake up and I start to remember things, and I'm like, whoa. So I came back with nothing, no experience. The only thing that I came back with was Lyra. That's the only thing that I remember. The word Lyra, you know. So I don't know what happened. I took the mushroom. The the light, sure enough, came from the west. It flashed. Boom! My whole medicine experience was gone, and then all my conscious memory came to. I was sitting down, and the mushroom experience was gone already. At the higher rate, it had worn off. You know, so I had this whole missing time. No idea what happened. You know? So I was just like, whoa, what was that? So the next day, you know what I mean? Dude, thank God. I mean, I came back. You know what I mean? Because like I could have fragmented or whatever happened. I have no idea what happened. But we can get into the speculations later. Yeah. So because I was growing, I expanded my operation into a Tupperware, you know, and I did some research and I started growing, and so I started doing my medicine experiences once a month with the full moon, and I had amazing experiences. But I'm just going to cut straight to the point because let's see what we got time. Okay. So I was doing once a month meditations and during the full moon, and I would have amazing experiences, met amazing beings and stuff like that, and I don't know, I felt my DNA ratcheting and unratcheting, and I felt like I was getting DNA activations, and it was like awesome, you know. I'm trying to think about what else do I need to share, because there's so much experiences, you know. There was this one experience where I knew I wasn't happy, because I knew I would take this medicine, everything would be amazing and great, and I would feel bliss, and I would be connected, but then when I come back, it would be gone, you know. It's like, dude, it's an escape, you know. So it knew I wasn't happy, and something came and started offering me things. It knew I wasn't happy, so it was like, we know you want money, we know you want women, we know you want power. We can give you all of that. It would just cost you 1/4 of your life force. And I was like, 1/4? Wow. It knew I wanted to go back and live in the days of like the tundra in Mongolia, you know, because that's what I wanted, you know. That's what I resonate with, you know. And 1/4 of my life force, all that I ever wanted. Nah, you know, so I pushed it away, and I kept offering, and and I was like, no, I'm not gonna escape this. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make it work. You know, thank God I didn't take that. You know, Jesus Christ, imagine what happened if I did. You know, 1/4 of your life force. You know, while studying with T1000, he always mentioned one thing: nothing's for free. There is no handout. Nothing is for free. You know, and that's karma, right? Nothing is for free. Yeah? Oh man, here we go. So I told T1000 about my DNA experiences and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I felt my DNA rash. He's like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, really? I felt good. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's not good. You know, like so I was doing my experiences and having amazing experiences once a month. Like I felt like I was really getting a lot of cobwebs cleared and fixing myself, not healing, yeah. And then he goes, I want to get a cutting of the datura. This is my power plant, you know. And he's told me about datura before. And if you guys are not familiar with it, inside one of the shamanic books, Datura, it's called the tree of the evil eagle. These are planted in South America in cemeteries, yeah? This is sleeping next to it, sleeping under it, you'll have nightmares. I've had friends who are sensitive walking next to the tree and hanging out next to the tree, like, you'll have some negative experiences, you know?
Is it Belladonna?
Belladonna,
Like Stevie Nicks song?
Belladonna,
right? The Stevie Nicks song,
Grusmania,
yeah.
Henbane, yeah, Henbane, Datura, Angel's Trumpet, beautiful trees, beautiful flowers. But wow, this is no joke. This thing is no joke. So he goes, yeah, I want to get a cutting. You know, it's my power plant, you know. So okay, because he's been telling me about these stories, and so I've been watching him on the street. So he wanted to get a cutting. I knew where it was, so I took him. We went to get a cutting, and he goes, oh, you should get a cutting too. Just take the cutting and put it in your room, you know. I was like, oh, okay. So I took a cutting, about this tall, 2 leaves, put it in water. You know, I had it in my room. And, next time I did my ceremony with my mushrooms, I ate my mushrooms. I was sitting down doing my meditation, waiting for the mushroom to kick in, and I saw this pulsing red light, boom, 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 and I was like, whoa! I looked up. I saw all these creepy crawlies, like all underworld worms, cockroaches, or like just underworld stuff. And I was like, holy shit! Wait a minute, dude, this is the wrong exit, dude. Like, dude, this is not right. This is not right. This is not right. Then I realized, I opened my eyes and looked around and like, oh shit. I entered the realm of the Datura. Yeah, I entered the realm of the Datura. And so that was the longest night of my life. I had this fan, paper fan, and man, the light was just pulsing it and just coming at me, and this paper fan, I picked up this paper fan and just these beautiful like kung fu forms started coming off of it, and I just started pushing the light back, you know. Then after that, something yanked my fan out. Something yanked me outside of my room, and there was like red strings attached to my fan, and yanked me outside. It yanked me outside. I ran outside of my house. I looked up, and I perceived what was like a gray ET or something like that yanked outside, and it was trying to tell me something that it's been watching me. And I see this giant dark shadow, and it's like trying to get me to go into the mountain, you know. And I was like, no way. I was resisting, you know, and then it took away my fan. I had this one pendant, was my amulet. Man, made me take away my pendant, you know. Then, man, these beautiful kung fu forms started coming out, just like, at the end. I was like, whoa, what the heck is this, you know? This giant dark being, like, you know, it forced me to like bow down to it, you know. And I was like, wow, I was trying to resist it, trying to make me to walk towards the mountain. It was like pushing me, pushing me, you know. And I resisted, and man, I started like channeling. It was nighttime, you know. I started like channeling this energy of the sun across the horizon and trying to pull it to come out quicker, you know. Because, dude, this thing was out to get me, you know. I was sweating, and let me see what else I gotta share about this. It was a long night. There was a bunch of other stuff that went on. It told one thing that related to the vision was that it told I saw that it told me like, oh, the planet's gonna blow up because it's your fault, you know, the planet's gonna blow up, and the UFOs are gonna beam people up over at Kaka'ako Ala Park, and you gotta get there, you know. And so I was walking down there, you know, I was like in my freaking shorts, and I don't know if I had a t-shirt or what, you know what I mean. I was in my room meditating, so I was in my shorts, and dude, made me walk down in front of Keomoku Street. I was doing Qigong right in front of the street, trying to like push away the dark forces, and you know, it made me walk to Walmart, you know what I mean? You know, it made me walk to Walmart. I walked down to Alamo, Waikiki and stuff like that, and lost my slippers. So I'm like walking back home with like without my fan, without my pendant, in shorts, lost my slippers. Oh my god, dude! I was one of the crazies that night. So finally, you know, I had to walk back past that tree where I cut the tree, cut the branch, you know. I finally get home, and like I swear, I'm just cutting this thing short, but it was the longest night of my life. The next, oh yeah, one thing of importance was like, there's this one part. Something told me like, dude, you gotta embark on this mission. You gotta go to the heart of Mordor. You know, you have to go. you'll have friends and people, you'll have support, but you gotta take this journey, you know. And I was just like, oh, okay, gotta go. And like, dude, I was shitting bricks, yeah. But that was something memorable, embarking on that journey to Mordor. And that, do you remember the movie of what was it?
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings,
I
where
don't
little
know.
Frodo had to embark to Mordor, you know. Little hobbit guy, barely even with a sword, he's got to travel on foot to take this ring where everybody's after him, you know what I mean? And dude, I had to do that, you know. And I was freaking shitting bricks. The next night, right? Sundown. I'm in my room. Outside my window, there's a motion detector, right? You know how if something triggers it, it goes on for like 5 minutes, and goes off. I was in my room. Motion detector was going on, off. As soon as it went off, on. As soon as it went off, on. It just kept going on and off all night, and I'm trying to sleep, and I'm just like sweating, you know. Finally, I was like, I grab my flashlight, dude. I just go out there and just look like, dude, whatever it is, like, just come out already. I mean, this is just killing me, you know. I go out there, nothing. I'm hanging around, nothing. I go back in my room, same thing, on, off. So what I realized is like, this plant, it opens up a gateway, yeah. Just like, you know, there's experiences of the heavenly divine bliss realm. Ooh, this plant is the absolute opposite. It's just all dark, all evil, all darkness. It's just all darkness. And it's a teacher, yeah. It's a teacher. But at the time, I wasn't ready. Yeah, that was a big lesson, yeah. And what I realized was that plant was using me as a gateway to come here. So when people get crazy, what happens is they have access, they have reign, yeah? They can take over your body, you know? So it was using me as a gateway to come here. Yeah, it was so real. It was just in my mind, and that, dude, it manifested physically outside in my window. This shit was real. Yeah? T1000 didn't help me one bit. He just laughed and chuckled when I told him. So I went to go see this other shaman who did ayahuasca ceremonies. And I went to go see this other shaman because I needed help. Every time I closed my eyes and meditated, all I saw was demon faces that popped up. I had to stop meditating. I had to stop closing my eyes. This thing was not going away, you know, so I had to go see help. So I went to go see the shaman lady. So I told her what happened. And she goes, dude, I had 2 teachers. She said she had 2 teachers. And she said if one of her teachers, she trusted one teacher, and he made it the tour for her once, and he knew the right brew and combination and all that stuff, and they had a great experience. But she said if her other teacher tried to give her the tour, she said she would have run out the door. She was like, I ain't your freaking test tube, you know? She would have run out the door. And she goes, why did you eat the plant? I'm like, dude, I didn't eat the plant. I ate the mushroom. The plant was in my room. She was like, what? Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. I'm like, what? No, you don't understand. I need to get rid of this, you know? So she was no help, you know? No help at all, you know? And, next page. Let's see. So you know, that's the tree. Next page. This is the red one, is the sinister one. The red small plant, you know?
Maybe you have to come to terms with the dark.
Absolutely. But it's like, it's like when you're just learning how to swim. If you're just learning how to swim, and I take you out to Pipeline Cafe, and I throw you out Pipeline Sunset Beach, and I throw you out there, you're just learning how to surf. Now throwing you out in the waves where they're freaking, this is meant for professional surfing. You know what I mean? That's negligence. So what he did to me was he set me up. He saw that I was advanced. At least that's my belief. I have to say that. That's my belief. That he set me up. I mean, when you take medicines with shamans, shamans tell you don't take these medicines lightly. You take these medicines with a proper guide who can guide you, direct you, and help lead you out of the dark corners of your mind. Yeah? What he did was, he just told me to take this plant, knowing fully well what this plant can do, because he experienced somebody, ayahuasca Neros made a brew for him. He knows fully what this plant does. So he set me up. I believe he knew that I was having all these DNA activations, these amazing experiences, and he just wanted to throw a wrench my way. And wow. If it fragmented me, have you ever met New Age people whose minds is just fragmented? So they're not really here, they walk around a little bit crazy, and then wow. I mean, that's some serious work. You know what I mean? Mushrooms, shamans, ayahuasca, they would tell you, always take this with a shaman who knows what they're doing, so that they can be a roadman for you. They can guide you out of the dark corners and stuff like that. Wow. I mean, this was like a setup, yeah. This was set up. I mean, and if you guys don't believe me, do some research if you guys want. You know what this plant is about. The only time shamans take this plant is when they want power, because the dark side will give you power. It will tempt you if you want power. It'll give you power, but what the price is always more than what you're willing to pay. The price is you, and your consciousness as a gateway to come here. Yeah, it will give you power. This plant is known to give you power. So that was my journey right there. Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't realize this yet.
Have you researched on that, like in mythologies? I know, like in Ireland, they have like the fairy mythology,
Henbane.
the flowers playing around. I have a book that explains different things, but I don't actually remember. But
Henbane, yeah.
yeah, so there's probably.
Henbane, mandrake.
Oh yeah, I know about
Mandrake,
that.
right,
Yeah,
right. They say when you
yeah.
pull mandrake out, they say you can hear it scream.
Yeah.
The witches will use it,
Yeah.
and it is not to be messed with.
Oh yeah, mandrake is shaped like a human.
Yeah. And it's the same family, I believe. But like, the shamans will use that, when they absolutely need, because, right now I understand that there is no, the light and the dark exists in duality. To really evolve and grow, we need to embrace, especially our darkness. Yeah, I know that now, but at the time, that was like throwing me in the pits with rattlesnakes, cockroaches, crocodiles, and man-eating lizards and stuff like that. I mean, that was no joke. Anybody, I guarantee you, would be broken after that experience. Let alone what happened up in Palogo Ridge. You know what I mean? My whole experience was gone. Anybody, a lot of people would have been broken by then. Then after that, he wanted to do a Maui retreat. He knew that, he said they were up in Maui before. There was a retreat. He had a little shack up there, and he said the kahunas had buried a UFO on the side of this mountain and had buried it with sand, and he wanted to try and dig it out and try and get into it, because he said, he told me that the ships, not everybody can operate the ships, that when you come close to the ship was alive, and that it'll recognize if you have the genetics for it. When he told me that it was alive, I instantly knew that the ships were alive. For some reason it just clicked. But anyway, so it was me and him. I was to set up this retreat center. Went up with him. I was to set up this retreat center. Now you got to remember, this guy was like a wizard. He was really the gateway for me to understanding spirituality, UFOs, and all that stuff. And I followed him like this, and I had no idea what was going on. So we went to this up in Maui, up on the side of this mountain, right? Boonies. He said it was a kahuna cemetery. Told me stories about last time they did a ceremony here, buried one of the girls, tied ropes to her, and throw sticks and stuff inside with the dirt and all that stuff, and his banshee came inside her, and he had to try and get the banshee out. So he's already told me about what's up with this area. This house, the shack that we're at, was like, I swear, it was like the Blair Witch shack.
That's the actual picture of the
No.
shack?
I'm not using actual pictures or anything. But it was even worse, because this house was it was built around this tree, right? It was built around this tree, that the tree was inside the house. So when we first got to this house where he was going to do his retreat, now I was supposed to go there, organize and set up the retreat, set him up, go back to Oahu, organize and schedule some people to go up and do retreats with him, maybe 6 at a time with him. We were going to do practices all day for a couple of days, and then and so when we got to the shack, we had tobacco, and we just put tobacco all around the house, said blessings and prayer just to bless the house. I was like, wow. So he started telling me stories about Kahuna Cemetery, the banshee here and there. Nighttime, daytime was long because we hiked up and we did practices and stuff like that. Nighttime was even longer. It was just me and him, and at the night when the wind would blow, right, you could hear the branches, and the house would screech. You know? Wind would blow, the house would screech. So this thing was like eerie. And then sometimes you would hear the house just go without even the wind blowing. I'm just like, what the heck is this, you know? And then I would hear like water running underneath the house. Like, dude, there's no water on here. This is like boonies, you know? And you would hear water. And then it's running the other way. At least something that sounded like water that rattled or something, you know? So, you know, we went up. So you know, the next night, the night was so long, like, both of us would not leave the shack when it was nighttime, you know? We would not leave the shack, you know? It was so eerie, you know? Would not go out to pee or anything, just hold it, you know? The next day, I found out, God, this guy, he threw nuts and stuff at me. When I woke up, I had nuts all around me. I was like, dude, were you trying to scare me? He's like, I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you, man? Why the hell would you do something like that? Like, what the heck was wrong with you? I was seriously pissed, you know? And he was just kind of laughing at it and chucking it off, you know? I didn't quite understand what's up, what was going on. So, you know, we went up to try and check out the UFO. It was in this one cave. It had collapsed, so we couldn't get to it. He said at the top over there was a Star Wars program that they had built some technology to shoot down ships and all that stuff, yeah? But we couldn't get to it. So I had set him up and all that stuff. Then I moved back. I went back to Oahu. I was going to set up the retreat for him. And then he calls me up. He goes, son, you got to come and get me, man. Something came for me last night. These dark beings, dark beings with shadow beings with red eyes. He said they came pounding on his roof. He went outside and he looked up at the shadow being, red eyes. And he said he had a big fire going in. So he threw in more branches and the fire got big and the shadow being just went poof, snuffed out his fire. And make a long story short, he had a long scuffle with these 5 shadow beings. And he called me up like, yeah, you gotta come and get me, man. I gotta get out of here. I was like, what? If you can't handle them, what the hell am I gonna do? Why don't you just come back here, you know?
You should have brought him some belladonnas.
So he calls me to go come and get him. What am I, bait? So I go and pick him up, you know, and so that was that, you know. And I don't want to get into what that is about. You know?
Well, I want to know. What was that about? Yeah.
5 shadow beings with red eyes.
But you have something more to tell us because, I mean, you just said
Sure,
you're
I'm
not
gonna
going to
go
tell me.
because I'm trying to direct your attention at a certain direction, you know what I mean? There's so much stories that I could tell you, but it would serve no purpose. It would just be here, like if we sit around a campfire, I can tell you stories.
Where that was on the Valley first year. Can you say the area?
Kula. Kula. Yeah. You'll get a better picture. Once we continue going on, you'll get a better picture of what we're dealing with here. So, here we go. We did an acceptance ceremony. We had to like fast, only juice diet, and no sleep for one night. So no sleep for one night. Wow, this is my first time doing sleep deprivation. No eating, no speaking also, yeah? So one day, one night, there was about 7 or 8 of us doing this acceptance ceremony. I was like, yeah, I want to do this acceptance ceremony. So, you know, he had to like cut his blood, you know, put it in an ink, draw some foods up, fold it up, and put it all around, you know, to create like a barrier and stuff like that. And I had no idea. He said, you know, we'd be given a secret name and a sound, you know, to activate. This is where it gets really tricky. So during the ceremony, right? During the ceremony, you know, he had a hat on. He had a weird garment. Yeah, he always dresses weirdly. Yeah, like the Sorcerer's Apprentice dressing weirdly. Yeah, and then he had a hat on, and one of them traditional ceremonial hat on, and he had a face mask. Yeah, so that he said this is for a purpose, so that you don't get distracted, so that you only can see the eyes. Yeah, so we did the ceremony. Then it was time for the eye-to-eye transfer. You know, he was like, you know, give you an eye-to-eye transfer, and then give you your secret name and secret sound to practice to activate and awaken all your abilities. So I think somebody went ahead before me. Then when I went to go sit, so everybody was up there. I went to go sit. I faced him a direction, and so I was looking into his eyes, and I was just like, whoa, like what am I looking at? Like I can't see anything, you know. It was only until the next day did I talk to somebody else, did we realize that like, dude, his eyes went all black. There was no white. So like, because it was dark, we had already stayed up one day, one night, and it was just like, whoa, that's not quite solid, you know? So when we were doing that eye transfer, like, whoa, this other guy told me like, yeah, you know, he had laughed when he was kicking around some stuff, and the eyes went from all black to all white, and it went all black, you know, because he got shocked, you know, and he was starting to laugh like, whoa, no freaking way. That's why I talked to this other girl, and the girl said like, I said like, what did you see when you looked into his eyes? And she goes, emptiness, just emptiness. It was just like this, all black, like the void. It was literally like the void. And I know, you know, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, yeah? And the dark, you know, the blackness is like, you know, you see like when cats dilate their eyes is to pick up more light, yeah? To let more out of the heart also, yeah? So, man. But also, what I saw was very different from what other people saw. When we were doing this eye-to-eye transfer, he said, look into my eyes. And then, I had looked into his eyes before the last time. Remember, he transformed? So look into his eyes, and he said, when you see something, close your eyes. So I was looking into his eyes, and I saw a flash of light, and I guess that was my cue to close my eyes. But I just kept staring, and that's when I saw the symbiote.
What's that?
I saw the symbiote come out of, like, he had the bandana, yeah? And everybody was sitting here, and I was looking at him, and his symbiote came out, and it just popped his head up and looked at me, and I saw his symbiote. I was like, whoa! And he had closed my eyes. And then I went away.
I'm sorry, what's a symbiote?
We're gonna get into it.
Oh.
So so after the transfer, I was just like, what the heck? I'm just like, what did I just see? He had talked about the symbiote before, but all these flashes and what the symbiote, I mean, you can imagine. There's a symbiote. You guys saw Stargate? Stargate? The Goa'uld, you know? He had told me he had a symbiote. He said a symbiote, next page. This is what I saw. Something like that, resembling that, coming out of his bandana, yeah? He said it, when I told him about it, I was like, dude, I saw your symbiote. He's like, oh yeah, really? He's like, really? Did you see the thing come out and stuff like that? I was like, no, I just saw something that looked like this. It only came out like an inch or so that I saw. And he explained it, described it to me. You know, previously he had already told me, can we go back to the, previously he had talked about the symbiote to me. He said like, occasionally he'll be like, oh yeah, my symbiote. He's like, it keeps me healthy, keeps me alive. You know, it's like a two-way communication. He said this thing is grafted with two beings. So this thing was grafted, its genetic material is grafted between him and another being to serve as a two-way communication. Yeah? What I think it was that when we did that ceremony, that being came through. Yeah, that being came through, and it wanted to come out, and that, you know, that other being, but its physical antenna wanted to come out and look at me. Yeah. And he said, you know, through the stories before then, he said, you know, it keeps him healthy, gives him information. It's a two-way communication.